And it's football night in New York here on Geico Sports Night. Marc Malusis and our SNY NFL insider Ralph Vacchiano join me. Ralph, you were at MetLife Stadium on Sunday afternoon. Yes, no need to break down X's and O's. Big picture, is this miserable start more of a coaching or personnel issue?
Well, I lean towards the personnel, and I have all season. I don't think that this is really a great Giant team. I think that they certainly had a lot of holes, but holes in the lineup and maybe not fixing the offensive line doesn't get you what it got on Sunday. 51-17 is a lot more than just bad players. It's a coach who can't figure out how to patch the holes in the secondary where there are actual players. It's a coach who couldn't get them motivated or angry enough or something in the second half to stop the bleeding. And I know Ben McAdoo has not been dealt the greatest hand by Jerry Reese in the personnel decisions, but he's not playing that hand well either.
They didn't play inspired. I mean, honestly, so it is both, because we've talked about personnel issues throughout the course of the year, and I get they're injured. I understand they're all banged up, but the offensive line was an issue really from Jump Street. So you look at today's and Sunday's performance against the LA Rams, and really, it looked like the team quit on the field. I mean, honestly, the Rams basically took them behind the woodshed, and the Giants just had little to no pushback whatsoever. They played with a little sense of pride, right? They played with a little sense of care. They didn't care that they were putting on that blue jersey and representing what should be and what has been a very, very proud franchise. It was an embarrassing performance. So then you get on the coaching staff. You get on the coaching staff for the game planning. You get on the coaching staff and the head coach for failing to motivate this team properly. Even with a 1-6 start, now they are 1-7, to go out there and give them their 100% effort because they didn't give it on Sunday.
Certainly seems like a lost season at this point. Ben McAdoo suggested that maybe he'll give Davis Webb some reps. Do you like that idea?
Well, I'm starting to warm to it a little bit. I like the idea that they take a look at Davis Webb. I don't think that they're going to sit Eli Manning completely. I doubt they're going to put his starting streak in jeopardy. And the reality is, they're going to have a very high pick in next year's draft, in a quarterback-rich draft, and they'll have to think about taking a quarterback there. And if they do that, they really need to take a look at Davis Webb. The problem is, if this team is this bad and they're quitting now, Davis Webb is not exactly going to be in a position for success. Geno Smith came into this game and almost got killed on the second play he was in there for. Davis Webb is going to have no chance to show what he can do.
Right, exactly. I mean, but you'd get a little bit of a feel of how he is getting ready to play or start over the course of a week instead of where he sits right now. But would you be putting him in a position to be successful where you get a full evaluation of the player, or would you basically be throwing him to the Wolves? You'd be more than likely just throwing him to the Wolves. So maybe you get a little bit of a feel, but the Giants are in a peculiar spot here because you got a GM who could be out after the season. You got a head coach who could be out after the season. You don't know if the future of the Giants, when you look at the quarterback position, is going to be selected either Webb in place or added in the draft, and who is going to be making that decision after the year. Listen, right now it's about information. So if they need to roll Webb out there at some point this year to get as much information on him as they possibly can, I have no issue with it whatsoever.
All right, guys, this may be the most interesting 1-7 team in league history. Marc Malusis, Ralph Vacchiano, thank you both.